there. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, it's a little delayed, but it is coming up on um, YouTube and hopefully Twitch and Facebook too. I'm not going to check both of those today. This is, I think, day 3 here. Oh, let me turn down the volume. Actually, I can exit out of that. This is day 3 here. Oh, that's what I'm not going to do the full experience today. I don't think I'll be on here. I was going to play some artwork, but I don't think I'll be on here too long. Sorry, I didn't quite finish dinner. Okay. Today, I'm going to finish up my case study about raising $1 million at a fundraising event for children and families in New York City. $1 million in unrestricted funds for children and families in New York City. And conceptualizing and executing the creative direction for said event that raised $1 million. Is this good mic placement? I'm gonna get a different mic. I don't know what the different mics are called. I am visual, and I know my audio can get better, so I'm gonna work on it. Sorry. I'm done with that. Okay. Welcome to Office Hours with Cheyenne Yvette. I'm a visual artist and art director of the Cheyenne Yvette Art and Culture Archive. Watch me work as I create using layered storytelling through Black design. The Cheyenne Yvette Art and Culture Archive, also referred to as SIACA, is a creative studio and archive. And my mission is to educate and express diverse Black American perspectives through art and experiences. If you would like to support, you can do that by shopping magnetismcorner.com. I'm going to share my screen here. And part of what I'm working on for the next few days is going to be kind of straightening all of these out. I am working on just doing the thing scared, just doing the thing, just working through it. Even though it's not all perfect, like don't wait till it's perfect to start. Just do the thing. Let me turn my light on. See? All right. A little brighter. But yes, I'm doing the thing scared. This is my gift shop, magnetismcorner.com. I have fine art prints available from my first art experience, which was called An Interesting Mind Virtual Art Experience. You can view that on my YouTube channel at the Siaka. Or if you would like to view that as well as all of my other series and experiences I have to offer, you can view that at thesiaka.com. I will be slowly moving those to YouTube, I think. But as of right now, if you want to see it, you can watch it through thesiaka.com. But yes, so I have fine art prints available, limited edition. There'll be 150 editions for each artwork, printed, signed, and numbered. This is pre-order. I believe from today, these will go out February 15th. So if you order them between Now and like I'd say between now and February 6th, they should go out February 16th. Actually, what do I say? Yep, February 15th. Ships February 15th. But yeah, I have fine art prints. I have accessories and apparel. If you don't find interesting, you can donate. My first milestone is $5,000 to pay for nail school tuition for a future art experience I'll be offering called Magnetism Claws. And I do have some merch for Magnetism Claws. They're more affordable. I love this crew neck. This is the crew neck you see me in. It comes in sand, light pink, and white. The white is my favorite. This is some of my best work. I'm so proud of this. And I'm excited to bring it to fruition. Which is why I'm here to work. So if you like to support, it's the best way you can support is shopping my gift shop. I have all types of cool merchandise that you can support the archive, support the studio, support my artwork. I'm gonna try to get this next. I love this olive and gold. It's too good. Like 5 panels, like that whole retro look. I got that. If you would like for me to create more merchandise, more artwork, again, please support. These things cost money, and I would like to offer more and do more. But yes, you can also support by uh, um, donating through my Cash App. That is in the bio. Cheythinkincolor. Thinking Color Studio was uh, my first business I did in New York before all of the art shows and art opportunities kind of went away due to the shelter in place regulations. And a lot of the art world, it was very hard for a lot of us to recover. But I've talked about that. No need to go into that today. I actually don't feel like it. But yes, my Cash App is Cheythinkincolor, and of course you can shop magnetismcorner.com. Get your t-shirts. It's 15% off the 1st through the 5th of every month. And you can use code CLAWS to get 30% off the Magnetism Claws merchandise. So if you're interested in that. Okay, let me fix my posture here and get into what I'm working on today. I'm working on a case study about my work at Shelter in Arms. So I'm gonna share my screen and kind of wrap this up. This is pretty much done, and I'm excited to have it done. It was supposed to be published today on the 20th, but I'm trying not to get too upset about missing deadlines because I was so close to finishing. And it's my own deadline. Like it's okay, Cheyenne, you missed your deadline. Let's see how I want to do this. Window. Here we go. Can you guys see me? I think this is good. Let me see how this looks on mobile. I'm gonna switch it, I think. I forgot how I had it the other day. Was it this way? It was this way. I want it switched. Okay, perfect. Ah, um, I think this layout is good. Let me close out of that. Okay. So today I'm writing about a 2019 fundraising gala I did while I was the marketing design associate at Sheltering Arms Children and Family Services. Sheltering Arms was a social services organization in New York City. They provided services such as um, uh, early childhood education for 2-year-old and 3-year-olds, new babies, so their families can work and find work. Foster care, group homes, services for adults with developmental disabilities, services like that. My first newsletter, this is for Substack that I'm writing this for. My first newsletter on my Substack at the Siaka is about the annual reports, where I talked about how the first annual report that I worked on was kind of dark. I was warned against using such images for poverty porn, even though these were the images they provided. So you can see in the caption, I was like, why did y'all take these photos anyway? Because that's what I was asking. Like, some of these photos are really dark. But it was um, and then I talk about the use of flat design and how sometimes minimal designs or simple designs can tell the full story. This is some inspiration from Rising Ground. This is actually a recent report, and I'm actually not a fan of the gradient, but because the gradient can actually make these images kind of hard to depict. Sometimes it's okay to simplify things, especially when it's going to be this small. But they do a good job of telling the story using simple design. Thank you for your support and hierarchy. And I just talked about how I just kind of created visual cohesion, a visual language for the organization that was brighter, lighter, friendlier, and a better representation of who we serve. Our early childhood education, it was between early childhood education and foster care were our largest groups that we serve. So it's like, let's showcase the children and the youth. We're always going, like, this was at a parade. This was at the Don't Shoot Live rally. This was at a peace rally in Far Rockaway. This, I believe, was a Christmas party at one of the early childhood education schools. Like, they were always sending me places where there was young people there, but our annual reports were so like dark, and it's like, nah, let's brighten up the place. So that is what that is about. You can read that at on my Substack, Office Hours with Cheyenne Yvette. You can find it at thesiaka.substack. thesiaka.substack.com. Or you can put in Cheyenne Yvette, The Siaka, or Office Hours with Cheyenne Yvette in Substack, and you should be able to find it. Okay. So that was my first one. And the one I'm working on today that I'm going to try to tie up and hopefully schedule for publishing either tomorrow or the day after that. So that'll be Wednesday or Thursday. Is about the annual galas and creating a cohesive, creating an iconic experience from the website, the moment you go on our website to buy your tickets or to see what we're about, to the moment you walk through the event doors. That was my goal. And I think that's what I did. It was a successful event. We raised $1 million in unrestricted funds, which was the highest in the organization's history. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of a few things, which I'm gonna go over. So I'm gonna just read through this. This part, when it comes to writing, for me, It's just making sure I said what I said. I'm very visual. So when it comes to storytelling, um, I kind of have to see it. I have to hear it. I have to see it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not the best when it comes to grammar and spelling, so I just kind of get my thoughts out and then fix all of that later. So you see all this red. I promise I will get to it, but I'm gonna read through this and see, make sure I said what I said. The the conclusion and introduction, I'll write that last. Okay. Artistic philosophy, storytelling meets flat design. I designed a simple logo for an event that could be manipulated for different types of. Hello, that was my neighbor. I designed a simple logo for the event that could be manipulated for different types of mediums with minimal effort. This made working with different vendors easier. At the most, all I had to do was change the file type and send an email. I didn't realize how valuable this was at the moment. After working on different projects with different teams, I get it now. Um, Something about uh, the the increase of um, generative AI and um, plagiarism through um, generative through AI tools using the check for the use of AI um, is a little scary for me. What am I looking for? Oh, symbols. It's a little scary for me because is this what I'm looking for? It's a little scary for me because I'm gonna leave it at a comma. Actually, I'm gonna do a semicolon because the use of I forgot the name of that mark that quickly. It doesn't even matter. I'm getting off topic. The use of certain symbols and Oxford commas, which I use a lot because that's how I talk. I talk in threes. I always try to make a statement in threes because I feel like my statement is not complete. So I've been challenging myself to like if I can say it in two, or if I can push it to four, like if I'm really trying to say more than what I'm saying, then do that, or say two sentences. I've been forcing myself to do that when talking and writing because I'm possibly interested in going back to school and writing more, like possibly publishing some writing on some certain topics that I've been interested in lately. I do a lot of writing for this archive, and it's just so stressful because a lot of the things that they're saying, oh, if you use a lot of this, you're definitely going to be picked up by the AI checkers or whatever. And I'm like, this is how I talk. So now I feel like I need to change the way I talk. And I'm not sure if this is anti-black or if or if I'm just like, do I talk simply? Like, do I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see where this goes. I've been trying not to use a lot of AI. I use generative AI to help me develop this outline. But that's because uh, I wanted it to be in the format of a case study, and I just couldn't get it going. But that is what happens when you've been out of practice as long as I have and haven't had to write or do anything. I've just been looking for jobs and conveniently using AI tools to look for jobs to try not to be rejected by the AI tool that they use to sort through job applicants. Everything is a mess. Okay. I use the organization sans serif font, and it's lightest tan color to create friendly and welcoming visual harmony with the rest of the organization's communications. The organization previously contracted a design agency for their Gala materials, and they would often use different colors and fonts from the agency's brand standards. While the imagery was beautiful, it almost felt like it wasn't the same organization. The term "light the way" was right aligned, emphasizing forward movement. The term "light the way," see that I use Grammarly, and people on TikTok have been saying that using Grammarly could pick you up for plagiarism as well. But I know Grammarly is gonna give me a suggestion for this sentence. I have to dismiss things from Grammarly. Like Grammarly will keep saying this is incorrect, this is incorrect, this is incorrect. But I have to be like, this is how I talk, and I said what I said. Like the sentence they spit back out to me is not what I was trying to say. That is something that frustrates me with some of these tools. But whatever happens, I'll cross that bridge when it gets there. It was strongly suggested to involve the youth we served in the Gala art direction. So I found a way to include a different set of our organization's youth at every donor touchpoint. Also, some of our youth were invited to the event for an opportunity to network with young professionals, some of whom came from similar backgrounds. Don't do that yet. I created an activity for the teachers to implement with their students enrolled at Harriet Tubman Early Childhood Education Center. This center provides education for low-income 2 and 3-year-old children. The task was for each student to draw on a 4x4-inch square on 4x4-inch squares that were glued to a large foam board panel rendering the New York City skyline. At the top of the art piece was the organization's logo and the event theme, Light the Way. It was finished off with fairy lights, emphasizing that the organization is lighting the way in what may be dark times for children and families in need. This established an immediate emotional connection to the mission upon entry. Navigational design. The implementation of signage to guide visitors throughout the venue space was needed at each touch point, from the entry and sign up, the piano performance, and even the silent auction. I used the same recognizable images from the invitations and other promotional materials for the signage, guiding guests through the dimly lit venue. While the images were not actually illuminated, the light imagery provided the feeling that guests were being guided through the event. That our guests, while the images were not actually illuminated, the light imagery provided the feeling that our guests, through the nights, through the event's activities. Okay, the environment. I designed gobos lighting, a stencil or template using metal or glass placed in a spotlight's path to project images onto a surface, adding visual ambiance and branding for events. I designed gobos lighting, one with the Sheltering Arms logo and another with the Light the Way logo. One of the Sheltering Arms logo and another of the Light the Way event logo, creating harmony within the venue. One of the Sheltering Arms logo and another of the Light the Way event logo, creating harmony within the venue. Cipriani 42nd Street is known for its dimly lit and intimate ambiance, even though it is a very large venue. This actually, oh, I need this to be pageless. This actually worked to the benefit of the theme. Every time you reach a light, it had the organization's logo and the theme Light the Way, re-emphasizing. Is re-emphasizing being redundant? And it's probably not even a word. Let me see if it's a word. Place emphasis on something again. Okay. There is a dash in it. Re-emphasizing that the organization is lighting the way for the fight for a more equitable, is it equitable or equitable? Grammarly will tell me. For a more equitable New York City for children and families we serve. Seeing my work projected in lights was a major achievement for me. I could say I'm in lights in one of the biggest venues in New York City where I grew up. Equitable. Okay. Tabletop. What? Tabletop storytelling. The centerpieces consisted of clear cylinder bases. In each vase was artwork created by the students of two Queens after-school programs. These art panels also rendered the New York City skyline. These art pieces were also illuminated by fairy lights, continuing the theme. The artwork of these students was very vibrant and made for great conversation starters. I was a very proud art instructor. Okay, this is where it's not complete. And I kind of want this to be the conclusion, but I understand why it's had separated. So I just need to work through this. Every time you reached repetition and cohesion and consistency, consistency and cohesion are needed in building relationships. Every time you reached a light in the venue, in the dimly lit venue, it had the organization's logo and the theme Light the Way, re-emphasizing that the organization is lighting the way. It was up to the speakers, host, and auctioneer to finish the point of, do you trust us with your donation? Online ticket sales were over 200% higher than the previous year through the website I designed. There was also higher participation in the silent auction through the website before the main event. This fundraising event had the largest in-person turnout and raised $1 million by the end of the night. Okay. I'm going blank. My mouse gave up on me. True. Consistency and cohesion are needed in building trust. That almost was a missed opportunity. Consistency and cohesion are needed in building trust. Every time you reached a light in the dimly lit venue, it had the organization's logo and the theme Light the Way. It had the organization's logo, the theme Light the Way, and something created by the youth in our programs. Online ticket sales were over 200% higher than the previous year through the website I designed. There was also higher participation in the silent auction through the website before the main event. This fundraising event had the largest in-person turnout and raised $1 million by the end of the night. It was up to the speakers, host, and auctioneer to finish the point of, do you trust us with your donation? To bring the point home of do you trust us with your donation? What? Consistency and cohesion are needed in building trust. Every time you reached a light in the dimly lit venue, it had the organization's logo, the theme Light the Way, and something created by the youth in our programs. This re-emphasized that the organization is lighting the way. Online ticket sales were over 200% higher than the previous year through the website I designed. There was also higher participation in the silent auction through the website before the main event. It was up to the speakers, host, and auctioneer to bring the point home of, do you trust us with your donation? This fundraising event had the largest in-person turnout and raised $1 million by the end of the night. Okay. That is actually not what I want. Okay. In her speech at the event, our CEO, Elizabeth McCart, how do you spell her name? I'll get her name, Elizabeth. I believe it was this. Emphasize that actually I think it was McCarthy. What? ignited bright young leaders to follow in their footsteps and help children and families across New York City. Through New York City foster care. The honorees, the honoree that night was someone. I think I got the wrong person. It doesn't matter. I don't think. I don't know why that just jumped into me. I don't know why that idea just jumped in my mind about the person that we honored that evening. The person that was in New York founding. True. NYC foster care, head of foster care. Commissioner. I think it was the guy before this person, which I do not have. It might be time for my visuals. It might be time for visuals because I don't know why I feel like I need that information. What do I want to do here? I'm gonna come back to this. Okay, did I talk about everything I want to highlight? Oh. Organization design goal. With clear calls, with a clear call to action, minimal design. Minimal but bright design. Brand colors and fonts with software. I don't care. 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 I need to bring some cohesion here. Time for some cohesion. While I finish this. Like the way I elevated the brand and we made $1 million in one night. The annual fundraising galas. I actually do not feel like that's necessary. I'm tired already. Okay. Okay. The event design wasn't high end. And actually, high end isn't always necessary. I know that the luxury market is always in, but high end isn't necessary for everything. And I kind of don't like the direction that the luxury aesthetic went into for some small businesses. But can actually it can, or can it? I was about to say a small business can't be luxury, but it can be, because a small business is really about the number of employees, and I think the amount of money you bring in. Okay, this happens to me every time around this point. So I'm going to I think I'm going to take a break. I'll show y'all some artwork. I'm going to take a break and kind of try to get my thoughts back. I'll be right back. Hey, so I am actually having a little bit of an experience, so I need to get some rest. So I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you for joining my live stream. Again, if you would like to support, my Cash App is somewhere in the description, hopefully, $ Cheythinkincolor, or you can shop magnetismcorner.com, or you can subscribe to my Substack at Betsy. I'll be back here tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time for office hours with Cheyenne